I used to think the worst part of my job was the endless meetings that could have been emails. That was before Olivia arrived and decided that my office chair, the one I had faithfully sat in for 2 years, was her personal throne. Every morning without fail, I'd find her lounging there, spinning lazily, her smug grin ready to ruin my day. First, I hated her for it. I hated the way she made herself so comfortable, hated how she acted like she belonged everywhere. But most of all, I hated that she looked so damn good while doing it. We worked in a downtown San Francisco firm, a glass tower scraping the sky, full of people too busy chasing deadlines to notice a silent war unfolding between 2 women over one stupid chair. The truth? It wasn't about the chair. It was about control. And Olivia thrived on pushing my buttons until I was one sarcastic remark away from snapping. But there was something dangerous about her laugh, the kind of laugh that wrapped around your ribs and stayed there long after she'd walked away. It wasn't fair. She'd toss her head back, her dark hair catching the light, and suddenly my anger wasn't as sharp. I'd catch myself staring too long, my pulse betraying me, and then I'd scold myself for even entertaining the thought. She was my colleague, my rival, my problem. One morning, I stormed into the office early, determined to beat her to the punch. I practically ran to my desk, victorious when I plopped into my chair at 8:01. For once I thought I'd win. But 2 minutes later, Olivia waltzed in, a coffee in one hand and mischief in her eyes. "Oh wow," she said, tilting her head like she was examining a rare animal. "Look who finally decided to fight for what's hers." I refused to look at her, my knuckles white around my mug. "It's my chair, Olivia. Always has been." She leaned down too close, her perfume a mix of vanilla and danger. "Maybe. But don't you think it's more fun when I steal it?" My heart tripped over itself. This was her game, getting under my skin, watching me unravel. And I hated how good she was at it. The days blurred into weeks, and our stolen chair battles became office gossip. People teased us about being a workplace sitcom couple, which I laughed off with a shake of my head, but deep down it stung. Because they didn't know the truth that every smirk she gave me, every playful jab, felt like a spark I couldn't put out. One Friday night, after a long day of deadlines and eye rolls, the office was empty except for us. I was gathering my things when Olivia slid into my chair again, spinning slowly, a sly smile tugging at her lips. "You know," she said softly, "you make it too easy." I sighed. "Why do you keep doing this?" Her smile faltered, replaced by something almost vulnerable. "Because it's the only way I can be close to you without making a complete fool of myself." The air shifted. My chest tightened. She wasn't teasing anymore. I swallowed hard, searching her face. "You. What?" She shrugged, her bravado cracking. "You're infuriating, you know that? But you're also brilliant and kind, and every time I see you I can't stop myself. So yeah, maybe the chair thing was my excuse. Maybe it was my way of trying to get your attention." The world tilted. The playful enemy I had cursed under my breath was now looking at me like I was the only person in the room. And for the first time I didn't want to run from it. Her words hung between us, fragile and terrifying. My instinct was to laugh, to brush it off with some witty remark that would keep the walls around my heart intact. But I couldn't. Not this time. Instead I whispered, "You're serious." Olivia's eyes didn't waver. "Dead serious. And it's killing me, because I don't know if you hate me, or if you've been secretly waiting for me to say this." For a moment I couldn't breathe. My whole body felt like it had been cracked open, every guarded thought suddenly exposed. I'd spent weeks convincing myself she was nothing more than a thorn in my side, a distraction. Yet here she was telling me what I'd been too afraid to admit to myself. I wanted her. "I don't hate you," I finally said, my voice shaking. "I just didn't know how to deal with you." Her laugh was soft, almost broken. Story of my life. We stared at each other, the office around us silent except for the faint hum of the city outside. Then she reached out, hesitant, her hand brushing against mine on the desk. It was the smallest touch, but it sent a shiver down my spine. I didn't pull away. That night marked the beginning of something we both didn't fully understand. We didn't call it love, not yet. We didn't tell anyone. Instead, it was stolen moments in the elevator, shared glances across conference tables, her hand brushing against mine when no one was looking. It was thrilling and terrifying all at once, like walking a tightrope with no safety net. But of course, secrets never stay hidden forever. One afternoon, our manager pulled me aside. "You and Olivia. Is there something going on?" My heart nearly stopped. I opened my mouth to deny it, but before I could, Olivia walked in. She glanced at me, then at our boss, and I knew what was coming. She didn't flinch. "Yes," she said firmly. "There is." I wanted to scream. I wanted to hug her. I wanted to do both at once. Instead, I stood frozen while our boss sighed, muttered something about company policy, and walked away. When we were alone, I snapped. "What the hell, Olivia? You just outed us like it's no big deal." She met my anger with calm. "Because I'm not ashamed of this. I'm not ashamed of us. Are you?" The question cut deeper than I expected. Was I ashamed? Or was I just terrified of the judgment, the whispers, the way people would see us differently? I turned away, blinking back tears. I don't know if I'm strong enough for this. For the first time, Olivia didn't try to joke her way out of it. She just stepped closer, her voice quiet but steady. "Then let me be strong for both of us. Because you're worth it. We're worth it." I broke then, the dam bursting. All the fear, all the tension, all the longing came pouring out as I turned into her arms. And she held me like she had been waiting forever. The weeks that followed weren't easy. People talked. Some supported us, others didn't. There were awkward silences in meetings, whispers in hallways, even friends who drifted away. But through it all, Olivia stayed by my side. She never let go of my hand, never stopped reminding me why we were fighting for this. And slowly I stopped hiding. One evening, after another long day, we sat together in the office as the sun set behind the skyline. The city glowed golden, and for once, the chair between us was empty. I laughed softly. "Funny, isn't it? All of this started because you wouldn't stop stealing my seat." Olivia grinned, leaning her head on my shoulder. "Best decision I ever made." I looked at her then, the woman who had once driven me insane, who had pulled me out of my own walls and forced me to feel again. And I realized something. The battles, the fear, the gossip, it was all worth it, because it led me here. To her. "I love you," I said quietly, the words finally slipping free. She froze for half a second, then smiled so wide it hurt to look at. "Took you long enough." We laughed, and in that moment the world outside didn't matter. There were no stolen chairs, no office gossip, no rules or fears. Just us. Two women, two hearts finally beating in sync. And for the first time, I knew this wasn't just a game or a phase. This was real. This was forever. Thank you for listening. Like and subscribe to get notifications about next videos.